Welcoming back to this program is the man of pride of Penn State University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and also one of the stars of Better Call Saul, playing Howard Hamlin, airing Mondays at 9 Eastern Time on AMC. Patrick Fabian, good to see you again, brother.
Hey, glad to be here. I'm good. I mean, we're in the midst of the sky falling, literally. But other than that, I'm happy to be here to promote my television show.
I appreciate that you are here in person. I appreciate that for sure. And it is good to see you. You look well, and everything's going well.
I'm good. I have to say, I'm doing my green. I'm Californian, so you got to do your green juice every day. It's sort of like a requirement if you're in the business.
Getting through all that.
I didn't get my yoga in, but I did do my swimming at the public pool today, which was great. I'm going to go there as long as I can because it's me and all the old Russian guys who live in my neighborhood.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great posse to hang with.
That sounds like the worst reboot of Cocoon I've ever heard. That is just a dreadful Cocoon reboot right there.
Well, the locker room scenes aren't very pretty.
Yeah, I don't know. The Russian who plays Wilford Brimley must be a little bit off. Man, I'm loving Better Call Saul, brother. It's just as good as ever. It just doesn't stop.
Thanks.
It must be amazing to be on a set and just see these scripts come in from obviously Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould and
the whole writing staff is fantastic. I'm on the show, obviously, so I'm a homer, but we're in our 5th season. A lot of times, shows can dip. They can have the jump of the shark and all that sort of thing. And I just don't think these writers have done it. They just keep getting better and better. And I think part of that is the cumulative effect of us watching it and being behind Jimmy and watching him turn into Saul. And even though there's only 10 episodes per season, I think that's laid itself into, they're all good episodes. And now we're in season 5, and we're seeing Jimmy get he's Saul now.
He is Saul.
He's Saul completely with the suits and everything else.
Right.
And so,
but just not with his office yet. We haven't gotten him. He's not totally down the full Saul Goodman wormhole just yet.
No, but watching him embrace that, the highest compliment I can give him, I think I meant to call Bob about this. My mother in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Her and my dad watch the show every Monday night at 10 o'clock because they have a DVR, but of course they don't know how to operate it. And so they wake up after watching the show, and she called me and she goes, I saw Bob on Kelly and Ryan, and he was so different than he is on the show. He's a really good actor. So I was going to pass on Mary Lou Fabian's compliment to him. Yeah.
Did Mary Lou think he's going to be handing out 50% off felony cards to the Ryan and Kelly audience or something?
No. I think her usual comment to me was this: after she watches the show, she calls him. She goes, "You looked really good. Are you going to have any more to do next week?" And I have to explain to her that it's called Better Call Saul. It's never going to be called Better Call Howard.
That's right.
Yeah. Right? But you gotta love her. I'm just like, Mom, it's actually a really good show.
That's
believe
what
me.
Moms do. It's fantastic.
It's very successful. This is a good job, Mom.
I love that. And he's tossing bowling balls at your car this time, this past episode.
You know what? More people tweeted at me about how they were sad about my car than they were about me emotionally. They were just like, "Oh, dude, sorry about the Jag."
Right. Who's the one on the set that is most close to the character that they portray?
Well, Ray Seahorn would say it would be me because Howard's vainglorious and peacock.
Right.
That's why she would be wrong, of course.
Of course.
I don't know. Do you really want to meet Michael Mando in a dark corner?
Nope.
I don't think so. Mando, if you're listening, I love you, brother. You know that.
Nacho is such a great character.
He has been great.
Right? Nacho's great.
Awesome.
And he's getting untethered as well now. And, the addition of Tony Dalton as Lalo has been great, right? Because he's this weird wire of energy with that great smile that seems very disarming, that makes you think there's no malice in him, when of course there's all this awfulness underneath him.
Well, we also know Giancarlo Esposito is not Gus Fring. He has come on this show almost as many times as you have, and he is a delightful individual.
Talk about a good actor. My mother should know how good of an actor he is as well.
I mean, he is, honestly, he comes in here, and there was one point where I did ask him a question about how long does it take him to get into Gus Fring, right? And he then flipped me that look.
Snapped. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
You do not like to be on the receiving end of that look, do you?
No. I didn't like it at that point in time. But I have absolutely just enjoyed the whole shoot match so far this year. Really
absolutely. I said to Jonathan Banks a couple of years ago, I was just like, oh man, I really hope we have a scene together. And he immediately goes, no, you don't. You don't want a scene with me, Patrick, okay? And I was like, you know what? Maybe on second thought, we can hold that off until the final season.
Pretty good.
That's a great imitation right there.
Jonathan, I love you. You know that, Jonathan. I love you.
Well, he's been in so many great things. We met him at the Red Cross golf tournament that I know you play
he's a
here
big
locally
golfer for
as well.
charity. Absolutely.
He was in 48 hours.
How about that?
He was the Nick Nolte's partner who gets killed in the beginning of 48 hours.
And he looks great. By the way, he looks almost exactly the same.
Pretty much.
He really does. He was sort of 60 when he was 20, I think.
Right. I know that. Patrick Fabian here on the Rich Eisen Show. What do you think of your Steelers season, man? I mean, they were better than anybody expected or could expect.
Well, absolutely. That's coaching up.
I
think without a doubt. I think maybe the last couple of years, maybe he was losing control of the team in some respects.
Right.
And I think this was a great opportunity to remind us why he is the coach for the Steelers. He's the right coach for the Steelers.
He's amazing.
Right?
You could say this was Mike Tomlin's best coaching ever.
Oh, I'm surprised he didn't get Coach of the Year. I think he should have been up for it.
The only thing is that being 8-8, it's just
okay. That you can't really reward that. I understand.
It's tough to give but to say you were 8-8 and you should have been 5-11
easily.
I know
easily, and you know what? I appreciate Pittsburgh fans embracing the rotating quarterbacks, trying to make them, trying to put them on their shoulders. I loved watching Minkah Fitzpatrick. That was a great deal. Mm-hmm. I know on draft day, of course, we're going to go like, oh, number 5 should have been ours. But no, I think for the long term, I like that he's there.
No, I mean, he's exactly the type of guy that you go against type and give up a first-round draft choice in a future draft, what the Steelers never do twice. And it just showed you that they knew they had to hit this defense and get it shored up better to get to where they want to go.
Yeah.
By, for the first time in the Super Bowl draft era, trading up 10 spots in the first round to get Devin Bush, and then 3 weeks into the season, because the fire sale was on in South Florida, go and flip a first in the future year, which they never do for Fitzpatrick. And you could see what those two kids, did in that second and third part, levels of the defense, how they were able to work with TJ Watt and go hunt.
It saves the season. It sets the mold for the next 5 to 10 years to come. Mm-hmm. It's going to be. I'm hopeful, and also depending on how Big Ben is on his return, right. Clearly we're in the last quarter of our Big Ben time. So eyeing the future. I mean, we're going to need a QB at some point.
I know.
I don't know if the Duck is the man.
Duck or Mason Rudolph too.
You know what? I like them both, and I thought they both did as well as they could in a moment that they certainly didn't expect. Mm-hmm. I don't think you ever really think that Ben's going to go down and you're going to come in like that, but. Other defenses got their number pretty quick.
Well, I know. Patrick Fabian of Better Call Saul here on the Rich Eisen Show. Look, if I had told you, okay, the first Brown Bell-less season would also be Big Ben-less from the middle of the second game on.
Wow.
And you would get Mason Rudolph out there, and he would not be ready for prime time and would get injured to the point Duck Hodges would get out there.
Duck Hodges.
And you'd still be 8-8.
Now, that's a bet. That's whoever took that bet was really smart, right?
Now, speaking of bets, Chris,
I knew this was going to come up.
I know you were hoping that Patrick Fabian would bring gifts like the last time.
Yeah,
I did appreciate that.
Yeah, I recall that I brought you all some bets from Vegas because I was there, and I gave you a Michigan.
You gave me a Michigan wins the national championship one, which I realized, probably around Thanksgiving wasn't going to cash.
Wasn't going to happen, but hope springs eternal. I think I gave a Cleveland Browns out there as well to someone.
Got a Cleveland Browns?
Because I was unsure. It was a long shot. And by the way, shout out to Shannon Simon, my friend, who's just discovered. I've known her for 20 years, and she just discovered I was a Steeler fan by listening to your promo and listening to your show.
How does somebody who's known you for 20 years not know?
You know what? We haven't hung out, I guess, during football season enough, or she hasn't seen my closet enough. I don't know.
Yeah, the Browns were like 50-1 or something.
The Browns were 50-1. They did not win last year, but hope springs eternal, as they say.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Because they would probably been better odds than 50-1 last year with Baker and Odell and Jarvis and all that. Everyone was putting them in the playoffs before the season.
But you know what? They might be okay this year. After they can we say the bed after
no,
you can't say that? No? Okay. After they had a doo-doo in the bed.
In the bed. Yes.
Then
you must have enjoyed that one immensely.
Oh, yeah. Especially because we were suffering as well.
Right.
We were suffering, and then to watch that just implode.
Right.
After all that talk.
Now, you, however, did bring a ticket for Christopher the
I
last
did,
time.
and this might make me I don't know, they might throw me out of Steeler Nation. I did bring a winning ticket for the New England Patriots to win the Super Bowl.
That was 2 years ago that the Patriots went ahead and cashed.
Yeah. Big winner, yeah.
Against the Rams.
Against the Rams.
Yeah.
Now, how much did you make off of that?
That was a $5 ticket. Thank
Whoa.
you, sir.
Yes.
At 8-1. Cleared $45.
Is there any?
Well, that's lunch money right there.
Any vigorish for our friend
Well,
Patrick
here's
Fabian? Or?
the thing about that.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
Don't know where it is.
Oh.
So I haven't actually been able to cash it.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? Money never
This
left the
man
casino.
brought-
Yeah.
You never. By the way, he's breaking news to me too.
Oh, wow.
That's breaking
I remember
bad news.
You
right
didn't even
there.
touch it, by the way. When I brought it to you, you didn't even touch it for the sense of impropriety. You're
Well,
like, just so you know, this is a sealed envelope.
I have no
you
idea
know?
what you're talking about
Yep.
from the University of
Yep.
Michigan.
It's around here somewhere.
Wow.
We've got a lot of knickknacks.
Do you have a
in the
refrigerator? I'm
studio.
sure it's on a magnet somewhere
Yeah,
back there.
it's-
no way.
somewhere.
There's no way that exists anymore.
But I got bad news for you. I have not made a Vegas trip, and I was unable to make you a bet for the upcoming season. But
That's all right. Brady's not re-signing there anyway.
he's
so-
not. He's going to be a Charger, isn't he? But instead, I'm going to make you all
what'd you do?
honorary members of HHM.
Oh, great. There you go. I've got a Hamlin,
Always
and
wanted
McGill
my JD.
notepad.
Thank
Little
you,
HHM in your
sir.
fancy pen.
All right.
Pens.
Wow.
Special, right?
Wow.
Pens. HHM pens.
There you go. That's the way it
By the
is.
way, I
Amazing.
love this.
This is so great.
I love this. Hamlin, and McGill.
So there you go. Now you're finished. You can write down all your thoughts. You know, you could write down your poetry, late at night with
No
your
doubt
Hamlin
about it.
McGill
you could
pen.
take your future winning tickets and just put them right in here.
I cannot believe you did not
I
cash
can't
that.
believe it either.
Yes,
because he was saying it when I'm like, so Patrick's coming in later on this week, and he goes, "Do you think he'll bring me another Super
he'll
Bowl
bring him
ticket
another
to
Super Bowl
cash?"
ticket.
Well, then technically, I cannot be thrown out of Steeler Nation because since
Yes.
the ticket was not cashed, I have not crossed that heretical line by actually rooting for the Patriots. How about that?
I agree.
I'll take that. I'll bend it that way.
Oh, bend it like Fabian,
There
right
you
there.
go.
Do you think your coach is still going to stick around Penn State? He's coming back one more year, obviously, but every year we keep hearing out here in Los Angeles that the Trojans are going to knock on his door or something like that.
I hope he stays. I think, he's the right coach for that school.
Right.
And he's done such a fine job with them. And that was a lot to put on your back.
Right.
The interim coach, who was there for a year down at Texans?
No, Bill O'Brien.
Yeah. I mean, thankless job.
I mean, he got that on the straight and narrow, and clearly showed his chops to be a head coach in the in the big leagues too. So.
Yeah, so it worked out great, but it was good to have just a moment with him. And then Franklin is the future. I think I would hate to see him come all the way to USC, even though it's my backyard.
Okay. Before I let you go, sir, it's so tough to ask these questions of a member of a show like Better Call Saul because I kind of know what the answer is going to be. But what can you tell us about the next 6 episodes? That you can drop a breadcrumb or two that will not have. Let me ask you.
I can tell. You know what I can tell you? I can tell you things are going to get crazy before the end of the season.
Well, I mean, you could say that about any season.
Well, no,
of
because
your-
sometimes things have
assume
not
that,
gotten
right?
crazy. Sometimes it's a nice lawyer show with some emotional problems, and there's
Right.
some threats of violence,
True.
and there's some
True.
other things.
The first 2 seasons were a slow burn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And no, I think the snowball goes rolling down the hill hard this time. And there's a particular episode. I think I can say this.
Okay.
There's a particular episode with Jonathan and Bob that is just jaw-dropping, directed by Vince later on in the season.
Directed by Vince Gilligan.
Yeah, so you
Mike
can do some
Ehrmantraut
research on that.
And Saul Goodman have.
I will say they have a scene or two that'll be extremely satisfying to everybody.
Okay. Now we also got the return of Hank
I know.
and Gomez. From Breaking Bad.
Yep.
That was great. It's great to see them.
How fun is it to see them?
I love it. Dean Norris is truly.
I mean,
a treasure.
to see Hank alive, right? And
It's
that's the whole
great.
thing. You're like, oh, you're right. Hank and Gomi are there. They're alive, and it's
Well,
great.
I know that.
Right,
well,
right.
here, look, the whole. That's what the thing is about Better Call Saul. With the exception of Saul, Okay, because obviously we see the flashbacks to him in black and white at the beginning of every season. To
flash forwards.
Well, yeah, I guess the flash forwards, or the present day.
Right.
It's not a flash
Present
forward.
day.
The rest of it's a flashback. I will say this, and even though I know that Breaking Bad has been out there, but it's been out there a long time. The thing that Susie and I, my wife and I, remark watching Better Call Saul is the number of people on the screen that we know that they are escaping and cheating death and being skirting on the edge of putting themselves in harm's way, that eventually when they run into Walter White, he offs them all. Like, he gets them, absolutely all of them. And that's the amazing thing about this show. So I ask you, are we done seeing Breaking Bad characters from yesteryear on this season?
Oh, well, that... No, I want to keep my job. I can't say anything about that. You know what I can say?
Okay.
Tune into AMC on Monday nights to find out.
Well done.
Well done.
Well done.
See, I knew at some point I would push it far
Cross the
enough that
line,
you'd have to say,
I'm looking for job security, my friend.
You can't do any of that. Mondays at 9 Eastern Time on AMC. Better Call Saul, starring Bob Odenkirk, Jonathan Banks, Rhea Seehorn, Michael Mando, Giancarlo Esposito, and you, Patrick Fabian, just to name a few. Just it's really great. Have you spent the last 2-3 minutes searching for that?
Is he still looking for it?
He literally is.
I thought maybe I'd put it in the
Gronk
book or something. It's around here somewhere.
I'll tell you what. If you do, take a picture and post it for me so I can see, or at least get it back to Vegas. They're still playing with my money.
It's not forever. It doesn't last forever, right? Isn't there?
Why wouldn't it? It's a winning ticket.
It's not like a check that after a certain year.
I think you might be right. I think
it lasts forever.
Well, because forever the result is still the result, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're not going to go back and give the Rams the win.
They can make up any of their rules. If you were running the casino, wouldn't you say you have a year to claim it? If not, it's our money.
This sounds like Albert Brooks in Lost in America.
Going up to
the casino boss to going up to
give us our money back.
Yeah, going up to Gary Marshall to basically say, you've got a kid now. You need a nest egg.
I do.
I need to cash this check.
I did tweet
and
you
the casino
ticket
boss is like,
after the Pats won.
So seriously, let's just.
So it's somewhere,
dude. Let's just extrapolate this out. Let's say you've got a winning ticket from Super Bowl 13. You're gonna walk into Circus, which still exists, and say, "I've had this ticket. I found it in my attic. I need to cash it."
But if you have a ticket from the Sands, it doesn't exist anymore.
I know that. So that's the way that one went. But if the casino still exists, it should be able to be cashed
I would imagine.
It feels like it, although it does feel like Circus might be the one that says no.
I had to just pick out a casino that I know is still around.
A little insight into Rich Eisen and his vacation.
I couldn't say the Bellagio because the Bellagio wasn't around in Super Bowl 13.
No, I hear. No, good pick.
He's still looking through his belongings. Chris, you're not going to find it.
It is gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's never coming back.
Thank you. You've restored my Steeler Nation status. I'll take it.
But that does sound one of the best scenes. Albert Brooks in Lost in America with Gary Marshall.
So funny.
Wanting his
and that's way before
heart.
I really understood what a nest egg really was.
The Desert Inn has heart. Oh my gosh.
The Desert
Inn has heart. Oh my gosh. Hamlin and McGill's. Patrick Fabian, check out again Better Call Saul, 5th season, and thank goodness it's been renewed for a 6th. Unfortunately, that is the final season, but Mondays at 9 Eastern Time on AMC. Thanks for coming in here, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.